Okay, welcome to the Let's Enjoy Piano Self-Expression Method. If you haven't picked up the book yet, go to the website, let'senjoypiano.com, and you have a variety of chapters, fundamentals, practice suggestions, lead sheet improvisation. And we're going to work on plurality today. That's a chapter that deals with seventh chords and the triad within the seventh chord. There's an exercise that's written out. If you have the book, it's on page 53B. There's the chromatic sevens. If you start with the first inversion and drop your pinky down, you have the major 7, a half step. Drop it down to the next half step and you have the 7. So if you're starting with a C major first inversion, there's the C major first inversion, and the half step down is the major 7. And if you have the octave in the left hand as the root, you can see the major 7 produces a minor triad in the right hand. So every major 7 will have a minor triad in the right hand. The easiest way to find the major 7 is to play the first inversion and then drop your pinky a half step. That's the major 7. If you drop it another step, another half step, you have the 7 chord. And you can see from this picture here, there's the E diminished. So the diminished chord is the top of any dominant 7. So you have the octave, only 3 notes. You introduce a 4th note, C major 7 with an E minor, E diminished with the 7 chord, dominant 7. And if you drop your thumb from E natural to E flat, that's the major 3rd, the minor 3rd, you have C minor 7. There's C minor and the 7. And if you look in your right hand, you have an E flat major triad. So that's the key to the 7th chords. On 38A, I believe 38A is the 7th heaven, which shows you on the top of a major 7 is minor. Top of a dominant 7 is a diminished. And the top of a minor 7 is a major. So if you take that with anything, here's E flat major. First inversion. Here's the major 7. That's G minor. Here's the dominant 7. G diminished, which is E flat 7. And now drop your 3rd. There is E flat minor 7 with a major G flat in the right hand. So you have those 3 examples in block and broken on the C chord, and the 7th heaven, let's say 38. Here's 7th heaven, 38B. There's the major 7, whoops, major 7 with a minor chord, minor 7 with the major chord on the right hand, and the dominant 7th with a diminished chord. And how you target the chord is the triad. When you want to determine a root position chord, you use your thumb to find the root position. You put your pinky on the root to find the first inversion, and your 3rd finger on the root to find the 2nd inversion. That's targeting the triad. So therefore, the reason they have that in that position is that the composer wants the melody note to be the fifth for a root chord. They want the root to be the melody note for the first inversion, and the third is the melody note for the second inversion. So here's a root chord. Here's C. First inversion, no sevens, but now we make E minor. The melody note, just looking at E minor, targeting the E, E, G, B, the melody note is B. If I wanted the melody note to be E, I just flip the E minor, target the E, make first inversion E minor, and therefore that's C major 7 with E minor, with E as the melody. If I wanted the second inversion of E minor, target the root E with your third finger, and there's C major 7 with G as the melody. So the triad root position, first inversion, second inversion. Depending on the melody note, you flip the triad accordingly, and that triad is the top of the 7 chord, major 7. If it was a dominant 7, you take the E diminished, flip it for the first inversion. There's C7 with E in the melody, and here's E diminished in the second inversion, and that's C, C7 with G in the melody. So depending on your melody note, so I've come up with a formula, 5RP R132. If the fifth's the melody of the triad, the chord is in root position. If the root is the melody of the triad, the triad is in first inversion. And if the melody is the third of the triad, the chord is in second inversion. So you have to know your root, third, and fifth of all your major chords, minor chords. Know what's root, what's third, what's fifth. So therefore you can turn it around accordingly. C minor 7, you have E flat, first inversion, that's C minor 7 with E flat the melody, and C minor 7 with G the melody. So you just have to flip 3 notes, the root being C. They're all the inversions of C minor 7, of E flat, which is the top of the C minor 7. So it behooves you to practice root position, first inversion, second inversion of all your triads, so you can flip them accordingly, with the bass note being the root of the 7 chord and the top 3 notes being a triad that you flip accordingly depending on the melody. So that's all in the plurality chapter. That's kind of an overview. If you haven't picked up the book, go to the website let'senjoypiano.com and pick up a copy, and you can follow along future tutorials. But just laying out the 7th chord across both hands, that's the easiest way, most efficient way to do it, by knowing your triads in the right hand. Okay, I hope that helps you out, and we'll pick you up another time. Thank you very much.